tight, but it all went very well.
You're a very modest man, but thank you very much for joining us, Paul. We're here throughout the morning. We'll be meeting more members of the crew who keep this lifeboat service going and, of course, keep the seas out there and the people who use them safe. Back to you both.
And sailing to the rescue, we find out why RNLI lifeboats were launched into the waves more than 9,000 times last year. It's made it the busiest year ever. Last year was the busiest so far for the men and women who crew the rescue boats of the Royal National Lifeboat Institution.
You know, last year this crew alone were called out 73 times, so they've had a busy time of it too.
Now, they're saving lives at sea even when you're tucked up in bed. The lifeguards of the RNLI have told Newsround that last year was their busiest ever.
Their busiest ever year. People trapped in the Cumbrian floods were helped back to dry land.
I didn't know what number it was for the RNLI because I forgot it was 999, so I rang that and then I asked for them, but the man stayed on the phone to me for the whole time.
And last year, lifeboat crews in central London were among the busiest in the country.
The lifeboat crew are here on standby, and when the bell rings, they're ready to jump onto the lifeboat and leave within 90 seconds and ready to respond to any incident on the river.
Well, today sees the launch of a scheme that will deliver more than 200 free books to children. Did I say 200?
2 million.
That's far too low. 2 million. Let's raise that in the hope it'll inspire an interest in reading for life.
Best-selling children's author Ed Veer is supporting the project and he's with us now. 2 million is actually quite a lot of books.
It's an incredible amount, and what we want to do is encourage parents to read much more to their children. Some research carried out by Book Trust has shown that I think only a third of parents are reading to children on a daily basis. So we're trying to up that considerably.
That's quite surprising when you think of all the children's books that are out there.
You're very welcome. Lovely to see you both. Now then, an advert appeared today because I know that you both would like a change of career, more than likely. The best job in the world has just come up. Sandals, you know, the couples resort place, is offering one member of the public a chance to become the first ever apprentice sandman. Now, the successful applicant will be scouring the Caribbean in search of a perfect beach location to build the next resort. Now, you've got to get your entry in by the 11th of December. They're looking for the quality of sand.
Now, business confidence may be beginning to pick up, but companies are not doing enough to plan out their long-term financial stability. That's according to HSBC. Well, joining me in the studio is Noel Quinn from HSBC.
In the past 12 months, companies have adapted really well to the recession.
Noel Quinn is the UK head of HSBC Commercial Bank, and he joins us now with this report. Noel, thanks for joining us. Look, we know that there's a lot less bank credit in the system, and I'd be interested in your insight into this. Is it because there's a lot less availability, or is it that actually companies really don't want to ask banks for money?
Well, I think if you look back over the past 12 months, businesses have done an excellent job at readjusting their business models, conserving cash. And I don't think there's been a huge amount of demand for extra borrowing, and I can understand why that would be in the middle of a recession.
Let's go straight over and speak to Tony Whitehorn, who is the UK MD of Hyundai. Tony, welcome to you to BBC News. And we know the likes of Volkswagen, Peugeot, Citroën, Toyota even, and GM have all expressed their concerns and warned really about the impact on their business when this money runs out. Do you join them?
Yes, most certainly. I think that the scrappy scheme has been very good for the consumers, it's been good for the industry, it's been good for the environment.
And I'm joined now by Tony Whitehorn, who's the Managing Director of Hyundai UK. Many thanks for joining us here on Sky News. So Hyundai's done very well out of the scrappage scheme, hasn't it?
Oh, Hyundai's done fantastically well out of the scrappage scheme. In fact, we are number one. We are the most popular of all the brands in the scrappage scheme.
Paul Wilcox is the Managing Director of Nissan UK, and he joins me now. Paul, thanks for joining us. You're a happy man, I imagine.
We're absolutely delighted with the announcement of the extension. This has really given a shot in the arm to the industry. The market was tracking 30% behind 2008 up until May, and with the introduction of the scrappage scheme, the market is now tracking in line with last year, and this month is actually 13% ahead. So we believe, being the UK's biggest car manufacturer with a manufacturing plant in Sunderland, this is a great shot in the arm for the industry and for the UK economy.